Hello, everyone. I would like to introduce a candidate who is running for the State House in the 28th District down in Pierce County. His name is Gocha. I met him recently. I've been really impressed by him, and actually would like to honor him as well, this being Memorial Day weekend. He spent a year in Iraq, and so he's a young fellow. He's 22 years old, and so let's hear it for Craig.
Does it work now? We good? Okay, awesome. Good afternoon, I'm Craig Gocha. And today I'd like to talk to you about something that has a sometimes deep and very emotional underbelly. Okay? This is methods in which we, as community activists, can communicate with local law enforcement. And to communicate with local law enforcement for the sole purpose of A, decreasing the chance and the likelihood of an arrest, whether just or unjust, and B, to open up protests to the fence sitters. And I'll explain that in a little bit as a result of option A. But first, a little bit about myself. I joined the Washington State Army National Guard in 2004. In 2007, I deployed in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom. I'm a relative newcomer to the Liberty Movement after seeing and watching Ron Paul dominate in political debates in the 2008 primary debate.
Oh yeah.
What?
Said, oh yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so after seeing Dr. Ron Paul, it kind of moved me towards the Liberty Movement. Okay? Despite my age, I've had several unique opportunities to display my leadership ability, whether from my youth as a Puyallup police explorer to the sands of Iraq. I've proven myself to be capable, fair, and trustworthy, and I'd like the opportunity to earn your motivation for the 2010 election season. Okay, as a Puyallup police explorer and a drug demand reduction officer for the Washington National Guard, I have a depth of knowledge on this very subject. I was a police explorer for 4.5 years. My entire life has been motivated and dedicated to me becoming a peace officer. I have been on both sides of the barricades. Okay, imagine the stresses of a situation in which you and your buddies are vastly outnumbered. Perhaps there's no apparent immediate danger, but you know that the possibility of danger is only a stone's throw away. You've seen the riots on television. Especially prominent in the minds of locals is the 1999 WTO riots. Here's an account of one officer's remembrance of those tumultuous times. While working on the first night on I-5 southbound at an exit ramp to prevent access to protesters who wanted to take I-5, this is a tactic used to impede traffic and attract news attention, riots started breaking out and a series of calls started coming out, so squads started reacting to them. Okay, the calls and the squads responded to protect the property of private business owners and the safety of innocent bystanders caught in the violent crowd. A small group of Seattle police were getting overran by the rear entrance to the convention center, so my squad of 5 were called to assist. Teams were short-handed and separated due to the size of the crowds and the different locations of the riots. Rioters were trying to separate and pull officers into the violent crowd. They did not allow this to happen. For the safety and the life of the officer was at stake. We had to hold the street to keep the peaceful citizens from losing their rights to travel and to try to stave off property damage against other individuals. The people that planned the peaceful protest got the required papers and from what he saw, left before dusk to avoid being part of any riots. It seemed the news coverage made it worse as people came to see the action and got caught up in the crowd. Okay, legal protesters did not want any part of the riots, and that's what he left off with. Okay, it is important in any situation to try to understand the opposite point of view, and that's why I explained that officer's view that night. Okay, through communication with local law enforcement, we can build a mutual respect and trust that will allow and foster an environment in which the officers aren't worried about your group damaging property and hurting individuals. These are the key bullets of my point tonight. Call your law enforcement non-emergency and administrative numbers and ask them what their plans are during this riot, during the protest situations. What kind of security are they going to have there? Share your ideas. Share what you plan on doing as a community organization protesting. Build a rapport with the agency. The idea is to start open dialogue. None of this secrecy stuff. Let's keep our ideas in the open and let them know what our plans are so they can help us. Okay? Invite them to your meetings. Just as you publicly condemn the officers for bad behavior, publicly praise them for good behavior. Does pleasure versus pain sound familiar to anyone? Okay. Leaders, by obtaining a permit, you are the one who allows the group to represent a cause. It is also your right to remove those individuals from said group. If you believe that a person may or is causing problems, it is your right as a leader to have them removed. They did not receive the permit, you did. Protect your cause. And I'll leave you with this. It takes the actions of one police officer to ruin the reputation of many, just as it takes one violent protester to ruin the credibility of an entire march. Have a great night, guys.